Hello friend, this is Dr. R.P.S. Chauhan, Professor and Head Department Electronics and Communication Engineering at IIM Engineering College, Ghaziabad. I welcome you all in my new lecture. Today I am going to discuss the architecture and the pin diagram of the 8051 microcontroller. The 8051 microcontroller is a subset of the 8052 microcontroller, or it is the microcontroller which is the first microcontroller which is used by the Intel Corporation. The 8031 is a ROM-less microcontroller. If we compare the microcontroller family, that is 8031 microcontroller, 8051 microcontroller and 8052 microcontroller, on the basis of the following parameters, that is the ROM size, RAM size, timer, number of timers, input output pins, serial ports, interrupt source. So, this table in this table, which shows that the comparison of these microcontroller, that is 8051 microcontroller, 8052 microcontroller and 8031 microcontroller, all belongs to the microcontroller, that is MCS 51 family. So, the first features on the basis of which we can compare these microcontroller, that is the ROM, that is the read only memory, which is the on chip program space memory in bytes. So, in 8051 it is 4 kilobytes, and in 8052 microcontroller it is 8 kilobytes, and 8031 we have the no read only memory. So, we can say that 8031 microcontroller is a ROM less device. The second parameter, that is the RAM, the random access memory, which is in bytes again. So, in 8051 microcontroller we have 128 bytes of random access memory. In 8052 microcontroller we have 256 bytes of memory, and in 8031 it is 128 bytes of the memory. So, in the 8051, 8052 and 8031, the second this random access memory are 128 byte, 256 byte and again 128 bytes respectively. The next parameter is timers, the number of timers which are present in this microcontroller. So, if I am talking about 8051 microcontroller, the number of timers, that is 2 timers, that is timer 0 and timer 1. In 8052 we have 3 timers, that is timer 0, that is T0, T1 and T3, 3 timers in 8052 microcontroller, and in 8031 microcontroller it is again we have 2 timers. Next is input output pins. The number of input output pins in 8051 microcontroller, it is a 32 pins. For 8052 microcontroller it is 32 pins, and 8031 microcontroller we have 32 pins. So, the input output pins are used to connect input and output devices. So, we have the 4 ports, that is port P0, port P1, port P2 and port P3. Each port is 8 bit. So, that is why we have the 32 input output pins, which can be configured as a input pin or output pin to connect the either input device or output device. Next is the serial port. So, in 8051 we have 1 serial port, in 8052 again we have 1 serial port, and 8031 we have 1 serial port. So, this serial port is used for the serial communications. We have this transmitter and receiver to transmit and receive the signal. Then the last one is number of the interrupt sources in 8051. So, we have 6 interrupts, in 8052 we have 8 interrupts, and in 8031 again we have 6 interrupts. So, this is the comparison of the microcontroller family, that is 8051, 8052 and 8031 microcontroller. Next, see the block diagram, the architecture of the 8051 microcontroller. So, in this architecture we have the peripheral device, which is the inside the microcontroller. These peripheral devices are the memory devices, that is the on chip read only memory, which is used to store the code, and then on chip random access memory. So, already we have that discussed in the previous slide. So, in on chip read only memory in 8051 is 4 kilobytes, and this RAM is 128 bytes. We have 2 timers, that is timer 0 and timer 1 in 8051 microcontroller. Then we have the input output ports. We have 4 ports, that is port 1, 2, 3 and 4. So, here that is 4 ports in this input output, the input output ports in 8051 microcontroller. Then we have the one serial port which consists the transmitter and receiver signal. So, transmit and receive the signal. Then the central processing unit and the interrupt control unit. So, this is the architecture. So, let us see the function of each and every unit, subunit of the 8051 microcontroller. So, first is the 8051 microcontroller. It is a 8-bit microcontroller. The meaning is that the 8051 microcontroller is an 8-bit microcontroller. This signifies that the width of the data bus is 8-bit. So, what is the meaning of 8-bit microcontroller? The width of the data bus is 8-bit. It means that at a time the microcontroller will carry 8-bit data only. The data bus is utilized to carry the data from specific operation. Consequently, the CPU can process 8-bit of data at a time, because the width of the data bus in case of 8051 microcontroller is 8-bit. That is why the CPU can process 8 bits of data at one time. Next is the memory. A microcontroller needs program memory to store program or instructions. To perform defined tasks, this memory is termed as read only memory. So, the read only memory or ROM is used to store the program or instructions to perform the defined task. Further, the microcontroller also requires data memory to store the operands or data on a temporary basis. So, if you want to store the data or operand on temporary basis, so another memory which can be used, that is nothing but the random access memory. The memory is known as RAM, which is random access memory. So, what is the use of RAM? RAM is used for the temporary storage of data or operand, while the code memory or the program memory, that is ROM, is used for storing the program and instruction to perform a particular task. The 8051 microcontroller is built with 4 kilobytes of on chip read only memory, that is ROM, and 128 bytes of random access memory, that is RAM. So, this is the features of 8051 microcontroller. Next, see the address bus. A bus of the microcontroller can be defined as a group of wires which can act as a medium for the transfer of data. So, the bus is nothing but it is a group of wires. Each wire will carry one signal, and these buses are used to carry the data or the address. If I am talking about the address bus, the bus are used to carry the address of the memory location or the address of the port, input output port. And if I are talking about the data bus, so the data bus is used to carry the data for the operation which is required to perform by the microcontroller. While we are already aware of the data bus, let us know about the address bus. Already aware of the data bus, because we have seen in this previous slide, the data bus is nothing but it is a 8-bit wide in 8051 microcontroller. So, at a time the microcontroller will able to carry 8-bit data, or it is able to perform 8-bit operation with the help of 8-bit data bus. Now, the next is the address bus, which is used to address memory location, which is a 16-bit wide. So, in 8051 microcontroller the address bus is 16-bit, and with the help of this 16-bit address bus we can able to access the memory location where the operand or data is present. The address bus can also be used to transfer data from the CPU, that is central processing unit, to the memory. Hence, for obvious reason the address bus is unidirectional. So, the address bus is unidirectional because the processor need or the controller will need this address to access the memory location with the help of the valid address or with the help of the unique address. So, since the address is specified by a 16-bit, so the address bus in 8051 microcontroller is 16-bit. Specification of 8051 microcontroller, we have the interrupts. Interrupts are the events that temporarily suspend the main program, pass the control to the external sources and execute their task. It then passes the control to the main program where it had left off. So, whenever the interrupts occur, so interrupt is nothing but it is the interrupt will occur from if the interrupt occurs from the outside world or from the external device. So, each requesting device will associate a certain task. So, whenever the interrupt it occurs on the interrupting pin, the microcontroller will access the interrupt and it will access the interrupt service routine. So, it will transfer the control from the main program to the interrupt service routine. the interrupt service routine will present at the definite vector location of the corresponding interrupt. It will execute the interrupt service routine and return after executing the return instruction, which is the last instruction of each and every subroutine. It will return back from the subroutine to main program. So, when the microcontroller execute the return instruction, it will pick the returning address from the reserve portion of the memory, which is called stack, and it will return back into the main program. So, this is the kind of process or kind of procedure which is required to follow when the interrupting device will interrupt and when the microcontroller will serve the interrupt request. So, when the interrupt occurs, the controller temporarily suspend the ongoing program, pass the control to a subroutine, execute the subroutine, it will execute the subroutine, resume the ongoing or main program. So, these are the steps which is required to follow when the interrupting device will interrupt the microcontroller. Interrupts can be of various types such as software and hardware. So, we classify the interrupt in two types. We have the software interrupts and the hardware interrupt, the non-maskable and maskable interrupts, etc. Now, the 8051 microcontroller incorporate 5 interrupts. These interrupts are the INT 0, it is called external hardware interrupt, TF 0 timer 0 overflow interrupt, INT 1 external hardware interrupt, then timer TF 1 timer 1 overflow interrupt, RITI, that is serial communication interrupts. These are the interrupts, these are the various interrupts of 8051 microcontroller. So, we have the external hardware interrupt, that is INT 0, INT 1, timer 0 overflow interrupt, that is timer 0, TF 0 and TF 1. These interrupts related with the timer overflow interrupt and the serial communication interrupt, that is RI and TI. The input output port, the 8051 microcontroller needs to be connected to the peripheral device in order to control their operation. The input output ports are responsible for the connection of the microcontroller to its peripheral devices. There are total 4 8-bit input output ports present in the microcontroller. So, in 8051 microcontroller we have 4 8-bit ports. These ports are designated by port P0, port P1, port P2 and port P3. All ports are 8-bit and these ports can be configured as input port or output port, means we can use this port to connect input device or output device. So, these ports are user programmable, each bit of the ports are user programmable, we can program each individual bit of these ports. So, the ports are used to connect the input output device. Additionally, these are some important features of 8051 microcontroller given as follows: a data pointer, a program counter of 16-bit. So, in 8051 microcontroller we have 16-bit register, that is DPTR, which is called data pointer register, and the program counter register, which is also, both registers are 16-bit register. 16-bit register. So, we have the data pointer register DPTR and the program counter register, two 16-bit timer and counter registers. So, we have the timer and counter register, that is TR0, that is TR0 and TR1. So, this is timer and counter register. Then 4 register banks, that is register bank B0, bank B1, bank B2 and bank B3. So, these are the 4 register banks. So, these are the additional features of 8051 microcontroller. So, let us see the pin diagram of 8051 microcontroller. The 8051 microcontroller is a 40 pin plastic dual inline package, that is PDIP, plastic dual inline package integrated circuit. The function of the pins of the microcontroller are as follows. So, this is the pin diagram of 8051 microcontroller. See, the 8051 microcontroller is 40 pin IC, we have 40 pins. So, and we have the ports, this line, the pins, that is 39 to 32 are used for the port P0, then pin number 1 to pin number 8 are used for port P1, pin number 21 to 28 are used for port P2, and pin number 10 to pin number 17 are used for port P3. So, we have 4 ports, that is port P0, port P1, port P2 and port P3. So, these are 4 8-bit ports, that is P0, P1, P2 and P3. In addition to these ports, we have the pins which are, that is pin number 31 for external access pin, then address latch enable pin, then program store enable pins, and the additional features of the pins, that is pin number 18, 19, these are used for connecting the crystal oscillator. Pin number 9 is used for reset the microcontroller. So, let us see the description of these pins one by one. So, ports of 8051 microcontroller, the 4 8-bit ports, that is input output ports P0, P1, P2 and P3, each uses 8 pins. So, these ports are 8-bit ports. So, each port will use 8 pins of the microcontroller. All the ports upon resets are configured as input, ready to be used as input port. So, this is required to remember. So, whenever we reset the microcontroller, all the ports, that is port P0, P1, P2 and P3 are configured as input port. When the first 0 is returned to a port, it becomes an output port. If you want to configure the corresponding port as a output port, so we send a 0 to that particular port bit, so that port can be configured as output port. To reconfigure it as an input port, a 1 must be sent to the port. To use any of these ports as an input port, it must be programmed. So, with the help of the software instruction, or when we program the ports, because already explained that these ports are user programmable. So, we can program this port in either input as an input port or output port by sending this 1 for the input port and 0 for the output port. So, let us see the port P0 of microcontroller. It can be used for input or output. So, we can configure this port P0 as input or output. Each pin must be connected externally to a 10 kilo ohm pull up resistor. So, this is the pull up resistor of 10K. So, each pin of this port, that is P0.0 to P0.7, are connected with the 10 kilo ohm pull up resistor. So, this is the pull up resistor. This is due to the fact that P0 is an open drain, unlike P1, P2 and P3. Since port P0 is open drain, so we need to connect a pull up resistor of the value 10K, and we can configure port P0 either as input port or output port. Next, the port P0 also designated or the special function, which is AD0 to AD7. So, it is multiplexed with the address and data bus, allowing to be used for both address and the data. When 8051 microcontroller is connected to external memory, port P0 provides the address and the data. So, whenever we connect the external memory with this port P0, so the address and data lines can be provided with the help of the port pins, that is A0 to A7 and D0 to D7 data lines. The 8051 microcontroller multiplex address and data through port P0 to save the number of pins. In order to reduce the number of pins of 8051 microcontroller, the pins, that is the address and data, are multiplexed with port P0. With the help of ALE signal of 8051 microcontroller, ALE indicates if P0 has address or data. So, we can identify that whether the port P0 will have the address or the data on that particular pin. So, when ALE is equals to 0, it provides data on D0 to D7 data lines, and when the value of ALE, that is address latch enable signal, is 1, it provides address on A0 to A7 address line. So, this is required to remember. By the status of the ALE pin, we can easily identify that whether the port P0 will carry the address that on A0 to A7 address line. So, when ALE is equals to 1, it will carry the address on A0 to A7 line address lines, and when ALE is equals to 0, these port pins will carry the data on D0 to D7 data lines. In 8051 based system with no external memory connection, both P1 and P2 are used as simple input output port. So, if no external memory are used, then port P1 and P2 both are used as a simple input output port to connect input and output device. In 8031 based system with external memory connection, port P2 must be used along with port P0 to provide the 16-bit address for the external memory. So, if external memory is connected, so port P2 is used along with port P0 to provide the high order address on A8 to A15 address lines for the 16-bit address of the external memory. P0 provide the low order 8-bit address on A0 to A7 lines, and P2 is used to provide the upper 8-bit of address, that is A8 to A15 address lines, and it cannot be used for input output operation. So, in this case, when we connect external memory with the ports, we cannot configure port P0 and port P2 to for the input output operation, because these ports will use to carry the 16-bit address and the data lines. Port 3 can be used as an input or output port. We can configure port 3 as input and output port. Port 3 has this additional function of providing some extremely important signal. So, in addition to configure port 3 as a simple input output port, the port 3 will also use to perform additional function, and these functions can be very well explained with the help of this table. So, we have the port pin, that is P 3.0 to P 3.7, and the additional function that the P 3.0, this pin is used for the serial input port, serial output port, then external interrupt INT 0, external interrupt 1, INT 1, timer 0 and timer 1, external data memory write operation, and external data memory read signal. So, these are the additional function or special function of port 3. In addition to, we configure this port 3 as a simple input output port. So, this port can be used to perform the alternate function, which are the special function, that is the serial, it acts as a serial port, interrupt and timer input output, timer external input, and the read and write control signal. Next is the on chip crystal oscillator of 8051. The 8051 has on chip oscillator, but requires an external clock to run it. A quartz crystal oscillator is connected to input, that is pin number 19 and pin number 18 of 8051 microcontroller. The quartz crystal oscillator also needs two capacitors of 30 picofarad values as shown in below. So, this is the diagram through which we can able to very well understand that this the pin number 18 and 19 of microcontroller are used to, this is the crystal oscillator, quartz crystal oscillator, this is the crystal oscillator which is connected along with the 30 picofarad capacitors, and with the help of this we can able to generate the crystal frequency, that is 11.0592 megahertz for the 8051 microcontroller. Then next is the reset pin of 8051 microcontroller. Reset pin is an input and is active high. Upon applying a high pulse to this pin, the microcontroller will reset and terminate all activities. This is often referred to as a power on reset. So, at pin number 9, when we apply the appropriate signal, so see when we apply the appropriate signal with the help of this table. So, when we reset the microcontroller, the content of program counter is 0000H, DPTR will have the value 0000H, accumulator register 00, program status word register is 00, stack pointer is initialized to this 07 value. It is important to note B register will have the value 00, and port P0 to P3 all becomes in input port, because FF is there, it means that it becomes as a it is configured as input port. Then the external access pin, the external access in input pin and must be connected to VCC or ground. The 8051 family member all come with the on chip read only memory to store programs. The external access pin is connected to VCC. The 8031 family members do not have on chip read only memory. So, code is stored on a external read only memory and is fetched by 8031 microcontroller. So, here the role of external access pin comes into picture. So, when the external access pin is connected to VCC, it means that we are using the on chip read only memory, but in case of 8031 microcontroller we do not have the on chip ROM. That is why the external access pins are is connected to ground to indicate that the code is stored externally. So, this is the significance of external access pin of the microcontroller. Then program store enable and ALE pins. The following two pins are used mainly in 8031 base system. Program store enable is an output pin. This pin is connected to the output enable pin of read only memory, which is connected externally with 8031 microcontroller. ALE is nothing but the address latch enable signal, is an output pin and is active high. Port 0 provides both address and data through port 0 to save this pin. So, in order to demultiplex the address and data bus, we use this ALE signal, and the ALE signal is nothing but it is a active high. So, once the ALE signal is high, it will enable the latch, and the latch will hold the address on the low order address line, that is A0 to A7. When the ALE signal will goes low, then the same line of port P0 will carry the data. So, this is the function of ALE pin. The microcontroller multiplex address and data through port 0 to save the pins. ALE pin is used for demultiplexing the address and data by connecting to the enable pin of 74LS373, which is nothing but the latch IC.